Welcome back to Stoic's Paths. You've sent that text. The one that felt like you were throwing your heart into a void, like tossing a stone into a bottomless pit and waiting for an echo that never comes. You stare at your phone, waiting, hoping, begging for that tiny bubble to appear. And then nothing, just silence. It's like a slap to the face, but you can't even be mad because, deep down, you're asking yourself, was it me? Did I say too much? Or was it not enough? It's a gut punch, isn't it? That nagging doubt starts to creep in, making you second-guess everything. You start running mental laps, trying to crack the code. Should I have been cooler? Funnier? Less me? It eats at you like termites in your confidence, leaving you questioning what went wrong. But listen closely, because this is where most guys trip over their own shoelaces. You're obsessing over the wrong things. Stop chasing. Stop analyzing. Stop twisting yourself into a pretzel trying to figure her out. The real game isn't about playing hard to get or flooding her inbox with clever lines. The game changes when you flip your mindset, own your power, and become the guy she can't stop replaying in her head, day and night. And trust me, by the time this video is done, you won't just be the guy she texts back. You'll be the guy she texts first. The guy who doesn't need to beg for attention because he commands it without even trying. But before we dive headfirst into this goldmine of truth, take 2 seconds to smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who's tired of feeling invisible in their dating life. Don't miss a single word of this because what I'm about to share will shake you to your core and change the way you see yourself, her, and every conversation from here on out. Let's jump in because this is about to get real. Number 1. Stop acting like a 24/7 customer service hotline. Let me hit you with a brutal truth. Always being available is the quickest way to lose her interest. When you're texting first every time, jumping at the chance to reply within seconds, or doing whatever it takes to keep the conversation alive, you're not building attraction, you're suffocating it. You're making your time feel disposable, like it doesn't mean a damn thing. Think about it. Would you keep watching a show that gives you every single episode at once? That instant gratification makes you lose interest faster than you can say, next episode. When you're too accessible, there's no mystery left to crave. There's nothing for her to wonder about, nothing for her to chase. You're just there, space. That's the secret. When you give her room to breathe, you let her feel the weight of your absence. You let her imagine what you're up to, who you're with, what you're thinking. You transform from just another guy in her phone to someone she can't stop thinking about. You go from predictable to unpredictable, and that's when the spark starts to fly. It's not about playing games. It's about knowing your worth. You're not some convenience, some filler in her day. When you make her work for your attention, when you stop handing it to her like it's a freebie, she'll feel the pull. She'll want you more, crave your time more because now you're the one she's afraid of losing. So stop acting like an open book that's been read too many times. Make her flip the pages. Make her yearn for the next chapter. When you do that, you don't just get her attention. You make her chase you. And that's when the real power shifts in your favor. Number 2. Set the rhythm. Don't dance to hers. Imagine this. You're on a dance floor, the lights flickering, the music pounding in your chest. But there's one problem: you're not leading. She's calling all the shots. Every move she makes, you're scrambling to keep up, hoping you don't stumble. You try to follow her steps, but it's exhausting, isn't it? Every time you think you've got it, she pulls away, and you're left trying to match her pace, feeling like you're drowning in her rhythm. This isn't just a dance. This is your life. And if you're letting her control the tempo of your conversations, you're already losing. You're not in charge. You're just playing catch-up. And no one is ever impressed by the guy who's always chasing. It's time to flip the script. Stop trying to follow her moves. You set the pace. You control the flow. Don't be the one responding to her mood swings or waiting around for her next cue. You take the wheel. Lead with purpose. Send texts that shake her world, that make her stop and think. Say something that pulls her in, leaves her on the edge of her seat. Make her crave your next message. You're not just another guy in her phone. You're the guy she's dying to hear from. You're the force she can't ignore. When you set the rhythm, she's no longer in control. She'll follow your lead, not because you're forcing it, but because you've built attention so magnetic, so irresistible, she won't even think of dancing to anyone else's beat. Every message you send should send waves through her thoughts, a pulse she can't shake. You're the beat she can't forget, the dance she wants to keep repeating. When you lead with intention, when you own your space, you're no longer fighting for her attention, you own it. And when you own it, she's the one fighting to stay in your rhythm. Number 3, master the art of the unexpected. Picture this, you're holding your phone, waiting to hit send on that next message, and for the first time, you don't rush. Instead, you take a breath. You let that message linger. That single moment of silence, the absence of your immediate reply, turns the entire game upside down. What if, instead of responding like clockwork, you let the pause hang in the air? What if, for once, you let her feel the space between your words? It's not about ignoring her or pretending to be somewhere you're not. It's about giving both of you a moment to breathe, to let the energy of the conversation build. Think about it. What happens when you reply instantly? It's predictable. It's safe. But when you let the silence take over, you create an electric gap. You make her wonder. You make her feel that the world doesn't revolve around her notifications. Suddenly, she's not just waiting for your text. She's anticipating it. Her mind races. Where is he? What's he doing? Who's he with? These questions seep into her thoughts, and with each second that passes, the tension rises. That's power. You've created a force field around your presence, one that draws her in with more intensity than any rushed reply ever could. This isn't a game, this is a shift in energy. When you respond too quickly, your words lose their weight, their impact. But when you let the moment breathe, when you make her wait, it forces her to slow down, to listen harder, to feel the meaning behind your reply. The silence transforms into a craving. Every second that ticks by becomes a pull, a tug on her desire to know more, to experience you more. And when you finally reply, you've got her, not just because you answered, but because you made her wait. Made her want your words more than anything else. Your response becomes electric, dripping with intention, charged with purpose. The power of the pause is simple yet devastatingly effective. It's the space between breaths that makes the music soar. It's the silence before the storm that gets her heart pounding. Master this, and you'll have her at the edge of her seat, craving the next moment you give her. Please don't forget to subscribe this channel.